So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be covering Sun and Moon conjunction and what happens when you have the conjunction of Sun and Moon in your horoscope in one house. And as simple as it may sound, as common as it may sound that this conjunction what it would do, what it would mean, it's actually pretty complicated. It is not that easy because sometimes you'll find polar opposite meanings of this conjunction, and you'll find personality with polar opposite meaning as well. And as always, if you do not know, where your conjunction is, what planet your conjunctions are having, or what's happening in your horoscope, for that, check out the links here and check out the full astrological report, where on the first page you will see all your planets and what conjunctions you have. And also my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, especially Conjunction at the Speed of Light. That has all the meaning of all the planetary conjunctions you can possibly think of, from 2 all the way to 8 planetary conjunctions. So you can get ahead of the curve and learn that and see exactly how you read a conjunction, because there's a method to reading a conjunction. So when we're discussing Sun and Moon conjunction, well, first of all, what is Sun and what is Moon? Sun in astrology represents your personality, represents your ego, represents your self-esteem, represents your fatherly figure, government. Then Moon represents emotions. Moon represents your inner self. Moon represents your mind, what you think, how you think. And then Moon represents your mother. Moon represents a motherly figure. Moon represents the dwelling. So Sun and Moon have pretty basic and common functionality in our life. One is a father, one is a mother. Okay? Now, when these two energies come together, what usually happens? What usually happens is that there's no moon. There's a no moon, and then there's a new moon, meaning that moon comes in close to, behind, in front of the sun, and that's where you have a new moon, and then slowly a moon starts to emerge, a new moon. Okay, so these things make a whole lot of difference in this conjunction. But what's happening is your soul, your personality, your ego, and your mind are all together now, because they're in one sign. So these people, what happens is they're quite determined people. When they decide on something, there's no second guessing. They're like, well, my mind really wants to do this, but I know I have to behave this way. And so most of the time people are having this tug of war. What the mind wants, the ego does not want to follow. Or what the ego wants, the mind is somewhere else. So when these two energy comes together, one's mind, body, soul, everything comes together, and everything is one. Especially when this happens in the ascendant, very powerful. Like a person is able to steer through without any obstacles, steer through no matter what's in the pathway. They're like, okay, I have this problem in my pathway, fine, whatever, I will steer through it. Oh, you want to come to in my pathway? Okay, fine. I will go through your problems and I will still keep walking. Now, one thing that you need to realize is that if Moon is holding the lowest degrees, because remember, we have to see in astrological conjunctions how far Sun is, how far Moon is, who's having the lowest degrees, who's having the highest degrees. Because especially in this conjunction, it will matter. So if Moon is coming closer to the Sun in degrees, so if Sun is at 15 degrees and you were born at around 11 degrees Moon, 8 degrees Moon, 14 degrees Moon. So Moon is underneath the degrees of the Sun. So that means Moon is coming closer to him. Moon is what's happening. Moon is getting heated. Moon is kind of getting burned. And Moon is losing its light, because it's no longer in front of it. It's no longer in front of the light, so everybody can see the Moon. Now, it's like you standing in front of the light, so all you see is the silhouette. So Moon starts to go towards the Sun. And what happens with this conjunction, when you have a lower degree of the Moon, is that these people are very introverted. These people are always in their mind. thoughts become negative, emotions become burnt, meaning that they exhaust their emotions. They go through such cold and heat of emotions in their life that they somehow dry it out. Sometimes you find these people, they kind of have no emotions towards things. They're kind of bleak towards those things. And that too will determine how close sun and moon are. So if moon is at 14 degree and sun is at sun degree, that's a very, very close conjunction. And this shows that the person has always felt this darkness within them. The mind is not able to clearly see what's ahead of it. Mind is not clearly able to see what is coming ahead of it. How to plan things, how to look for and judge things, how to look inwards within your own emotions, because there's this darkness. But this does make you more introverted. This makes you want to be to yourself and by yourself. So, and also I've seen people who kind of do business on their own have this kind of a conjunction. They're the kind of like, leave me alone. I don't want to listen to you. I don't want you to listen to me. Just leave me alone. Let me work. Okay? I'll pay you my taxes. I'll pay this. I just don't want to deal with the world. So this conjunction does this kind of a scenario. Now, also, sign becomes very important here. Because whatever moon or sun the sign is in, it completely changes the personality that you're in. If sun is in Aries, that means sun is hot. So moon is now burning even more. If sun is in Libra and then moon is with sun, it's a little bit more balanced approach. These people are far easier to deal with others and themselves. But what if moon is ahead of sun's degree? What's happening then? And one important thing that I want to talk about is when moon actually has a lower degree. These people actually finally come out of this eclipse by the sun, I should say, in a way. Or moon finally comes out of the sun after these people mature between the ages of 28 and 32. So after the age of 28, the mind finally starts to be more confident within. Because remember, when you create your life outside, whatever I have created, it was in my head first. And then I brought it out, and whatever is surrounding me right now in my life is something that I thought in my mind. When moon has the lowest degree and is close to the sun, these people have a hard time envisioning what they want to do. There's always this battle. They're always searching for their thoughts. Now, when moon has the higher degree, so let's say if sun is at 15 degrees and moon is at 16 degrees, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, like within 10 degree gap of the sun from 15 all the way to 25 degrees. What's now happening is that mind is having the confidence to go forward and take their plans through the finish line. Because now it's a new moon. Because moon is now finally coming out of the light. So they have more positive thought. They will be more motivated. They will be more about, hey, how do I reach my plateau? How do I reach my destination? They are kind of determined who they are. Now, again, the closer moon is to the sun degree, again, it's going to take more time because only a little bit of moon is out from the sun. But if you're more 5 degrees, 6 degrees, 7 degree, when moon is separated enough, that's where the whole game starts to reveal itself. That's where the mind, confidence, ego, self-esteem all comes together to have this person go through wherever they want to go through. But again, it's hard to describe this conjunction without signs, because sun and moon really depend upon the sign, and moon especially depends on the nakshatra. So certain nakshatra will provide definitely either more darker results or more lighter result. And you will also notice is that when moon is underneath the degrees of the sun, the relationship of mother and father, you'll notice that mother depends on the father more in your family. When moon is out and sun is behind, father follows, mother advise a lot. And what also happens with this, especially in certain nakshatra, if sun and moon are close together, and whether moon is a little bit forward or a little bit back, the relationship father and mother is kind of eclipsed. You just don't feel that relation with them until you grow more mature. Until you get more older, you start to get that the relationship starts to improve them. But you will find in a certain sign, depending upon if sun is in a very heated sign, moon is in a very cold sign, all of these things will determine how these conjunctions are, manifesting themselves. And we'll cover all this stuff. We'll cover, conjunctions through different houses and signs and nakshatras. But right now, it's a very critical conjunction. This is a very critical conjunction to study, because all of the things come together. With Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, Jupiter, all of these things are quite easy to define without the sign or the house placement even. But this one requires the placement of sign and house, and even nakshatra sometimes, even especially for the sun. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of sun and moon conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your sun is placed and where your moon is placed and if they're together, all that stuff, for that check out the links here and check out my books, reports, and everything else. Otherwise, we'll see you next week with, I think, a different planetary conjunction now. Maybe moon, Venus or something, because I'll go with sun, moon, and then blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, anyway, we'll see you later. Bye.